I have this recurring dream. I'm sitting on a train, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving this town where I live behind me. As I sit on the train, I look around, and I see everyone I know on the train. My dad is sitting right behind me, intimidating me. My best friend, Mike, is standing up, hassling some people for a cigarette. And the girl I'm in love with, Jordan, is sitting in another carriage. One by one, everyone gets off the train. Eventually, my dad, Jordan and Mike are the only ones left. Mike gets kicked off because he doesn't have a ticket. My dad gets off at the next stop, falling as he exits the train. And Jordan, the girl I am in love with, he gets off and there is another guy waiting for him. I sit alone, and eventually the train comes to a stop. I exit the train looking out at my future. Of course, I can't see what my future is, and I wake up. It was a day like any other day, but uh-oh, I thought to myself, I was late for school. That is strange. A bag just sitting there, I thought to myself. I investigated the bag, expecting to find some school books inside. Wow, wow, wee, I said, as I pulled out a crisp money note. There must be 1,000,000 of these in here. I had just found a bag of money down a side street, more money than I had ever seen, even more than when I did work experience at the post office. I took the bag full of money and I ran, stashing it at the town's train station. I was chilling at the side of the school, with some oranges I bought with my newfound wealth. I saw my best friend Mike, the communist, coming over. Hey you, gives one of those, he said. Yeah, sure. Take one, I replied. He stood there looking at me with this look on his face. Curse you, communist Mike, and your stupid face. He had started to talk to me. I just stood there, nodding, thinking, crayon fingers, how did this guy become my best friend? I hate him. One time I had some chewing gum, and he pretty much took half the packet. Absolute broken pencil. He eventually walked off, probably to take someone else's stuff. Curse you, communist Mike. Is that Jordan, the girl I love? He saw me and approached. Oh, hey you, he said. Her eyes were beautiful, like fire. We had talked many times before. I started off by pretending to do a magic trick, but instead just showed off my abs. I had recently started doing sit-ups. I was feeling confident with my newfound wealth, so I asked her out. She declined me, saying that I never listened to him, or something. I was now staring at his boobs. "Are you even listening to me?" she asked. I had to think fast. "Just making some deposits in the wank bank." She began to walk off. "Wait," I called out. I made a silly Chinaman face and said, "Ching chong ching," but she just stared back at me. She saw right through my racial remarks, my attempt to cover up my inept thinking abilities. She said, "That's not very funny," and she walked off. Ouch! Right in the funny. I could feel emotions well up inside me. I started to run as I began to tear up. Not funny? I'll show you who's not funny. My dad eventually found me crying in the shower. He looked down at me, calling me all sorts of things. Broken pencil, crayon fingers, and other hurtful comments. He was drunk as usual. He stood there showing off his oversized biceps and his great body. Anyway, he always had his arms out to intimidate me. I lived alone with my father, as my mother was dead from death. My father hated me. Why do you hate me? I hate you. You were a mistake. He eventually tired himself out, and he left. Later that day, I had it all planned out. I was going to leave to Argentina by train, escaping this town. But first, I had some killing to do. I hated my dad, and he hated me. and he never took me to the park. It was time to settle the score. I would make him a deep-fried sandwich, and then show him the money, because his cholesterol would be raised, and so he would have a heart attack. My dad was dead. I was free. I took the money and I ran. I ran straight to the train station, stopping for nothing. I stopped to eat a banana. That tasted good. The banana tastes delicious. As I sat alone on my first-class carriage, I looked out the window as the town slowly disappeared over the horizon. I felt a certain level of nostalgia as the tower from the chapel vanished out of sight. I was free from that town, free from everything. I breathed for the first time in my life as I sank into my seat. I drifted into a deep sleep, and I dreamed of what could have been, spending a day at the park with my dad, smiling, having fun, out in the courtyard at school, kicking a ball with my friends, giving that girl a kiss on her front porch. I woke up. The dream vanished into nothing, as did my memories of that town. I was reborn, and from what? A bag of money? That was what it took to escape. I've learnt nothing.